Curl up, hit play, let the pages unwind. Spice on our tongues, all the trouble we find. We're kissing and killing in kingdoms we crave, falling for monsters we swear we'll never say. We're the Scribe of HRI, reading too late, but we're still gonna dive into blades and beds and bargains at night. If he's morally gray, then he's probably right. Scribe of HRI, turn up the heat, let the dragons fly. Fantasy, slow, and the dark in his eyes. Yeah, we read it all and we never apologize. Curses and crowns, all the vows that they break. We're raiding the ruin, every risk that they take. Laugh through the trauma, then gasp at the twist. Highlighting lines that our mothers would blacklist. Scribes of HRI, reading too late, but we're still gonna dive into blades and beds and bargains at night. If he's morally gray, then he's probably right. Scribes of HRI, turn up the heat, let the dragons fly. Fantasy, slow, and the dark in his eyes. Yeah, we read it all and we never apologize. Open the book, pour the tea, pour the wine. Scribe wives of HRI. It's gonna be a wild time. Hey!
Just 3 wives, bringing 1 book each and defending it. I don't think we're going to really have to defend them, especially Lindsay's pick, which means at least one of us is about to get judged.
Yeah. All right, so 1 sentence only. What trope are you currently emotionally unstable over, Kat? Go.
Whichever trope Sweet Venom was, that was emotionally devastating.
All right, Linz,
Touch
go.
her and die, I think.
Touch her
Is
and
that what
die.
it falls under? But that one,
Yes.
just that category in itself, hands down, like blind obsession will always be my number 1 go-to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all 3 of us are on the same page because we just all read that book. All right, so we are
Great.
going to, like Kat said, each of us have our own book that we are going to talk about today. So we are going to go ahead and move into Kat's pick. So Kat, you're first. Sell it.
Oh no, why me? Why me? All right, it's okay. I am prepared. So mine was actually my second arc read. I didn't even know what an arc was until you girls introduced me to it. And this was
Welcome.
my second one. It came out Sorry, there was a kid screaming for me. This one's called Bright Burns the Flame. As you can tell, it's gonna be a fiery book because she's what they call flameborn, which they aren't liked very well in the kingdom. And this is an arc that came out February 28th, and it's by Angela Steffert. And it was really, really good. I was surprised. And the best way to describe it is if you like Fourth Wing, this is kind of esque of it. There are no dragons that we know of yet. I'm hopeful, so I'm going to say yet. And, but there are other creatures besides just these humans. There's no like fairies, goblins, anything like that. These are human people with magic abilities. And our FMC is Alori, which 1, that's a really pretty name. And 2, she's 19. She's trying to survive in a terrible world. And she she hasn't had the best upbringing. She's in like the typical how these types of stories start, the scum part of the like bottom tier of the kingdom, where she has to scavenge and just survive. Um, and she got caught trying to steal to survive to get gold so she could eat. And when she got caught by the army, she needed to get sentenced, and it was supposed to be execution. Everyone that gets caught is supposed to get executed. But she ended up getting a second chance by being forced to go to Ashthorn, which is like their military schooling. So it's kind of like in Fourth Wing with Bascus,
Basque.
I believe is how you say it. Yeah. Um, Most people like the elite. It's an elite school. Like most families, they've like it's tradition to go there. Um, and then the criminals go there as a second chance to do something better with their life. And she's just over here like, I don't want to go. Why am I here? I think I'd rather choose death. She doesn't like her parents. She never knew her dad. He kind of disowned her and her twin brother. Her mom died when she was like 14, and then her brother died. Um, and they'd been trying to like the army's been trying to find her for 2 years because of her secret abilities that she's not aware of.
That's crazy.
The yes, yeah. So they tried to pass it off as like lightborn because like flameborn, like I said, they usually get tortured and then executed. And it's usually like the whole family. Like if one person is found to be flameborn, the whole family like gets executed and potential of being flameborn because the king of this kingdom, I didn't care for his name, so I don't even remember it, but he there was a riot that happened. So now the flameborn are like the low, like they can never survive this world unless the king wants them to be like his secret weapon. Then they go to Ashthorn. They have to go through the trials, and these trials are like no joke. One of the trials, as soon as you get there, if you are late to breakfast, there's 3 tolls to get from your room to breakfast. If you are late, you're instantly dead. Like they will kill you before anyone's even allowed to eat their breakfast. In the hall, the breakfast hall, they will pick somebody and literally just kill this peer. It's it's no joke on this school. Um and like Lori was devastated. She's like, you just kill them. All they did was miss the bell by 2 seconds. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's your friend, an enemy, someone in the higher ranks as you, because there are ranks. Lori and her group are starting as Ashlings. Um, and that's just the first trial she had to overcome, was just making sure she got to breakfast. And they are served like decent breakfasts, like fruits and bread and things that she wasn't really able to have a chance at when she was growing up and having to scavenge for food. So she was grateful for that. But otherwise, like just how these ashlings are endured these trials is it's a lot. I mean, she's 19. Like she just isn't much older than a high schooler in our age group. Like that's a lot for someone to endure. And then they're sorted into 5 colors. And your colors are like your group. In like fourth wing, they were like battalion style. These ones are colors. Like it's so colored, like their armor, their clothing, their plates, like their dishes, their bedding, their rooms are all blue. They go to classes together as a color. We are rooting for Team Blue because that's where Lori and her group are. They are Team Blue. We hate Team Yellow because of Lori's nemesis. Um, Rika, she does not like Lori because she's kind of suspecting that Lori came as a criminal versus being an elite that came because of her background of family. And she doesn't like that. She's like out to get Lori, and that's one of like the last. trials at the end of the book that I read is that Rika was trying to like kill Lori. But we'll get to that in a minute. Let's see. I haven't really talked about the MMC yet. So his name is Craven. It's a weird name. We all call him K, which kind of weird for an MMC to have that
I
name,
actually
but
like that.
it is different. I did like that the author put how to pronounce their names in the very beginning, right before like the table of contents, because there's so many pronunciations, and like with most fantasy they do weird names or weird spellings that you're just like, I'm not sure how to say this. So that was really nice for the author to do. So he is the youngest captain in the army, and he's special because not only is he flameborn, which we don't find out till like later on in the book, he's also what's called a dream walker. So he can go into people's dreams and help them, either like with Lori, he helped get her um when she was being tortured and stuff, he'd calm her by like showing her memories, um or like just showing her like that was some of the foreplay, was what they could do together without him ever actually having to touch her. So that was unique. Um, it is a slow burn. There was only one scene, but the build up was what made it like spicier than, like mayo, I guess I should say. He is also a huge asset to the army because of what he can do. Like he can dream walk people to their death, like just keep them in that dream world. He
I don't want no part of that power.
Right. Right.
yeah, yeah. um and then like I said, he's flameborn, which like I mentioned before, that there are just some flameborn that the king wants to keep close to him. Um and he's also a huge asset because his father died by giving a prophecy, and Lori is the person, the prophecy to over like dethrone the king, which is why she becomes like a weapon. Oh my god, I swear to god, yeah, I already did. Like, go get dressed, make me money.
This is what happens when you sit so close to each other.
I know. Like go. um and then like he is like definitely a leader because he kind of takes these achlings under his wing, and like with Lori, he almost made like a death pact that like if she failed, he failed, so he would die. He took her under the wing after people realized she was flameborn by saying, by saying that he if anything happens, like if she tries to overrule the king or dethrone the king, he will sacrifice himself for her, and he's done that with multiple people in the book. um so he's
Oh, I
really
love
like this.
that.
Yes, and it's not just like for her. Like he's super attracted to her because I think he's only 23 or something. So when I say he's the youngest like captain in the military, I mean like he became captain almost as soon as he got out of Ashburn.
So it's not a huge age gap like some books are whenever it comes
No,
to.
no. Like he's guys, I'm trying to defend my book and you guys are making me laugh because of chat. um And then like there's just magic in it. So it's nice that, it's different to than like darker books. So there's magic like icicles, and like Rika, she can use her voice to stun people. Then like someone else from her group can throw roots out of her fingers or up through the ground and like stab these people. So like these abilities can work separately, but they also work really well together in the army. Um, someone from Alori's group, he can shatter ice, like he can make them into icicles, and they have a water element that they can just work together to defend each other or the group, or um, have enemies that they can just kill. And it's really good to read and understand, and it's not just like the normal abilities like lightning or mind control or things like that. These are unique abilities that can work together really well in a group.
So 1 to 10, how many chili peppers is it?
I did it 1 to 5 because I didn't
1
want
to
to make it too.
5.
Yes, because like
So 2.5.
I
Got
said
it, Cat. Got it.
That's a
it.
pretty big range. I agree with Kat on that.
Yeah, and
1 to 10 is the
I put
first
it.
thing that came to mind. Okay. Okay.
So I did give the book. I did give the book 4 stars because like I loved Fourth Wing and it gave me that vibe. But with the spice, the scene, it wasn't like super graphic or anything. It was more like it happened right before her last trial, which was going to be like her deadliest trial. It was a unique trial to her. Um and it was like almost like a way of saying goodbye in case something happens to her, she didn't make this trial. But the building up to that scene is why I gave it like a 3, because it was unique buildup of, yeah, they did some kissing, but the whole dream walking scenes were kind of like, well, this is actually kind of hot in a different way. Um, because it's like he walked in her dreams, got her to like calm and relax, and then it was just like he could do this without actually touching her.
So no lizards. Got it.
There are no lizards.
That's
There's
always
no
going to be a
basilisk.
thing. That's always going to be a thing on here. No lizards, guys.
And no, there ain't no worldy
That
do
will happen
9,000.
eventually.
So is he? So no red flags. He's just straight book husband material.
um, the only red flag I saw was more because he was forced to kill like his family, like his bloodline, people that he doesn't come from this kingdom. He comes from like Crew, which is a different kingdom that they're trying to overpower. And he was sent to like the front lines to literally kill them. But that red flag is because he was forced to because of a pact he made with the king.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna spoil why he made the pact with the king to kill his like
I mean,
kinspeople.
spoilers. Hello, I'm gonna have spoilers whenever I talk about my book,
Okay,
and I have no
fine.
shame. No shame. I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
ruin it
totally
for
put
all
the
of you.
spoilers in. Go in.
Okay, so it's not a big spoiler, but he has a sister. She was 6 when their parents died, and he was like 12. So he was really young when it happened. And then, like, at the age of 12, he went to Ashthorn, which is like after they go to like regular school, I believe, because most of them are like 19, 20, 21 age. Um, but the king has his sister and uses his sister as a way to keep Ka under his thumb, or K under his thumb.
Because why wouldn't
Um,
he?
right? Like, of course, and this is kind of where that whole like taking all these like Lori under his ring and like all these people under his wing and trying to train them to be like to graduate basically is that like brotherly vibe. But like with Lori, it's more like he tries to put himself in that box, but he's also 23 and he's like, "Nah, you're too good looking. I need to stay away from you, but like I want to also sleep with you." So yes, he is very hopefully bookish material.
So why should we add this to our TBR list?
You should add it because like it's just good. Like if you like fantasy,
You had me when you compared it to Fourth Wing.
I
Like,
mean,
instantly
yes,
sold. It is on the
that's
list.
She
That's
had me at
literally-
Dreamwalker, so
I get enough of that every night. I am good on dream walking.
Yeah,
Give
we
me some
heard
good
about your.
old like
Yeah, we don't.
gore. I'm
Yeah,
good.
you and your
Yeah,
crazy
we
dreams.
saw.
It's fine.
Yes, yes, we've read those. It the thing is, if you loved Fourth Wing, you'll love this. But like the other thing is because it's not such dark. There's like no triggers. Um, I mean, there could be with like kind of like child abuse, but there's no like actual child abuse. It's more like how he's raised after his parents have died, like forced to do the king's bidding, things like that triggers. But there's no like really bad triggers like some of the dark romance we've read. Um
So is
and
he
it's
like cruel to everybody but her? Because that's the best. I love that.
he's not like he'll
No,
do
I'm
stuff
just
he
like, if
has to
he's
do.
mean to somebody, it's never her, I guess is what I'm trying to say in a way.
Yeah, yes, I want to say he's mean to her in terms of like getting her like power to come through because she doesn't even know what her power is to start with until it's like produced. And
She's
then
got motive at least.
yeah, so he's motively mean to her, but not like so mean that it's degrading almost.
Okay, but it's
If that makes sense.
okay. I find it crazy that he has to kill his own family. I mean, I hate books like that.
Yeah. And it's I don't want to say like family in terms of like he wasn't the one to kill his parents. It was the king's guard that did it, but just knowing that he has to kill the people that he's from, like
Right.
the
He had a role to play in the
yeah.
part.
Yeah, it's sad, but it made him the man he is now. Like my suspicion is that he's trying to help Lori train and this group of people train so that they can like overtake the king is where was headed for as a prediction because this king needs to go. Like killing a whole magic type is wild, like very wild, just because they rioted and because of a prophecy is it's wild.
Do you know how many books there are going to be? Has she said
I know
anything?
there's she hasn't no because this was the first book but she did hint that there's like this is a whole like universe almost.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we like it, right? Lindsay, what do you think?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. I definitely can see myself reading this, and that says
Yep.
something. It
it does
And
say
it
covers
can
something.
all the boxes.
and it does it is on the Kindle app. I know Lindsay is not a big fan of the Kindle app, but the book is out. You can get it off Amazon.
I was just
Um,
about to ask if it was physically out or if I was able to get a physical
yep,
copy.
you can get a physical copy. And like the 28th, I literally went and got it off the Kindle app just to have it so I could have notes. Like I was like, I need this book, and the covers really, it's really fits the theme, like Bright Burns the Flame, because like she's just only unlocked her power. We don't know how far her power can go. Like she went from just not knowing what it was to thinking it was something else because they were trying to protect her to realizing what she is to not even knowing what she can unlock and her possibilities are from here.
All right, so let's go to our next scribe wife, Linz. Talk to us about your toxic, smutty book choice.
Vipers.
Oh my goodness. All right. So if your ideal book buff friend is the red flag, you just need to dip it in kerosene and set them on fire, and you're going to get Jude Callahan. 100%. This man is probably topped my top 5 book boyfriends so far, and that is a feat of strength. I got to figure out how to get this off here 1 second. Apologies.
You're good.
We got you. Kat and I have both read the book, so, you know, we have stuff
Oh
to.
yes, we did.
Yeah. we read it rather quickly. Actually, Kat read it quicker than I did. I struggled to actually focus, and then I read it within 24 hours.
All right,
I
I
did.
finally got that working. I do apologize for that. But my choice for today was Sweet Venom by Rena Kent, and it is a totally different series from hers. Usually she does like secret societies. You get that, but you're gonna get the hockey a little bit in here, which I'm actually a pretty big fan of. And I'm not huge on sports romances, is the thing.
I love me some good. It has to be football and hockey because they're the most like contact sports, which really um dives into those vibes of like protect at all costs, even if it's your teammate.
Only
Yes,
sport book I've ever read.
yes. I feel like personally, he kind of wrote the stalker romance playbook firsthand. He literally set the bar when it comes to obsession, possession, and I will hunt you and make you mine. You're just not going to have a say. It's just happening. But the best part about that is you have the dark side of it. But then we're going to have Miss Violet Winters, who is so shy and timid. She wants nothing more than to disappear in her life. She does not want to stand out. She does not want to draw attention. Her whole entire life, she has been made to just live in a shadow, and she quite prefers it that way. But with Jude, he is relentless with his attention when it comes to her. And that's kind of what makes it so enticing. She just wants to disappear, and he just wants her to not do that.
And so, talk a little bit about why Violet is so closed off and why she would rather be dead.
Yep, I was going to lead into that, but before I actually go any further, I just got to cover a couple little trigger warnings there before
Oh,
we
that's
do
true.
get
That's
in
true.
depth, just in
Yes, yes.
case. So, with this book, it is a very dark stalker romance. You are going to have the PTSD, you are going to have the graphic violence, you are even going to have some very intense erotic scenes that are going to fall along the lines of consensual, non consensual, which is exactly what it is. It is consensually non consent. And then you're going to have a little bit of somnophilia. So if that is not your vibe, I do not recommend probably reading the series or kinda any dark romance. That's probably not going to be for you. These are pretty staple features in almost every book by any author.
Agreed.
All right, so now that we got that baseline covered with Miss Violet Winters, I don't remember if they covered their age, maybe like 24-ish, somewhere in there, because they're in college. So I'm not going to say much more than that, maybe 23. But her whole entire life, she has only had her mom up until the point her mom overdoses when she is young. This is the second book in a series. So the first book, Beautiful Venom, follows her foster sister, Dahlia. But this one is about Violet. I just felt like I needed to throw that in there a little bit because it like they overlap in the universe and you're going to get a little bit of both. But I don't recommend starting with the second one, just start with the first. But her whole childhood is literally the epitome of my parents did not want me and I was hid in a closet. And it is pretty descriptive, but it is so sad. You can relate to her so much and you can feel her pain in her character that they wrote her. It fits so well. And I loved that. I loved how they had such contrast between the invisible girl and like the visible hockey god that everybody knew. You see both sides of it, and I loved it. Mm, should I add anything else about Violet? Because she's she is just traumatized inside and out, more or less.
Yeah, no, I think
No,
that
you hit.
yeah,
You hit.
that sums up her childhood. Um I mean, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to like assume that you're gonna talk about something and be like, well, what about this? What about this? I'm just like,
No,
let her
I was just
flood.
trying to get like the gist so they can kind of get it because I know you guys know what I'm talking about without having to
Right.
talk
Yeah,
about it, but I
yeah.
don't want to miss something on it because with Violet, what you don't see is what you get because she doesn't want you to see it. She
Right.
smiles, but she is severely depressed. She just wants to get through the day, but she doesn't want anybody to notice her as she's doing that.
But then she's also so sweet because like she's
She
always willing
is.
to help.
Mm-hmm.
Whether like if it's her last, she's the
She
type of
will
girl
always
that
put herself last, no matter
yes.
what.
And like you need the shirt off her back, she will give it to you whether she's modest or not. If
You
it's
really
your
see
her
that
last
with her relationship with Dahlia in
Mm-hmm.
any of
yes.
the books.
Like
Kind of
she's
with
so
anybody she interacts with. You are right.
yeah. And then like I was surprised she took on the role with Preston so quickly.
Oh, it's so sweet, like a little puppy dog. But
I know.
but like I mean, you have this person that has gone through all this trauma and they're very poor and she's like grabbing sandwiches from the convenience store and giving them to the homeless people that are out on the streets. Like instead of feeding herself, she's feeding everybody else.
Right, and she knows Dahlia doesn't cook, so she's like, "Don't worry, I'll make dinner before I go to work." And it's always like
She doesn't even
proper
buy her
food.
own favorite soda. She buys Dahlia's favorite soda.
Yes. And then she's like, "No, no, save your money. Save your money. You need it for school." To Dahlia. And Dahlia's over here like, "No, you do so much for me. I want to repay you." And she's like, "You don't have to.
Yeah.
I'm the big
Right.
sister, even though I'm only a year older than you.
It's
Like, I will figure it out."
mhm.
And she's kind of always played the protector mother, kind of nurturer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dahlia's
like
more
yes.
voicely outspoken, assertive, and dominant. Violet is not that. She is very soft spoken, quiet, and out of the way.
Unless she needs to protect
Yes,
her
anybody but
family.
herself.
Yes, like to herself, you can do anything you want to her, which is why she's like so depressed and stuff. But as soon as you like are going to hurt Dahlia or even say you're going to hurt her, like that's where you can get her under your thumb is by saying I'm going to do something to Dahlia or like after they get to know she gets to know Preston or Preston like they know where her weakness is and they will use it against her.
Yes, she has lived everything outside of the privileged life that Jude has. But Jude is the entire opposite of everything she represents. He is the big man on campus. When they think of the guy, it's Jude Callahan. He's not only playing for the Vipers hockey team, he is a senior member of the secret shadowy society that just so happens to rule everything it touches in this universe, and that is Vencor. Vencor is single handedly one of the biggest factors that has made Jude the weapon that he is. In school, out school, physically, mentally, it doesn't matter. They have crafted a physical human weapon, and he is phenomenal.
Yeah, he is like I think that was the hardest part reading for me with the first two books is what
There is
this
a big
these
difference.
men go through
Uh-huh.
as children. And
Oh
I
my
think that's
gosh.
something we should have mentioned
And
is
they
like
definitely go into detail. They do not skip on that. They make sure their point is across where you're not left wondering. And it is so devastatingly heartbreaking. You can feel and like side with each and every one of these people to where you're like, okay, I see why you're such a menace to society now. It makes sense.
yes. Yep.
Jude's story with his family.
Oh,
Oh
it broke me.
my gosh. Like ah.
He just wanted love, and he only ever remembered just the good times. And that's kind of what made it so sad because they show a point where you see him at a point in time where he kind of wasn't like that. Granted, he was probably like 5 or 6 or something, but they gave you that glimpse, and you could
Mhm.
have
Yeah.
seen where life could have
Yep.
been totally different.
Yes,
Agreed.
so let's so tell us why Jude is so obsessed with Violet. What draws them together?
Ah, well, their tooth paths were genuinely never supposed to meet. But for poor little Violet, she just so happened to witness the murder of Jude Callahan's mother. And his entire goal from that point on of losing his mom was just a blood path of vengeance. And he promised he was not going to stop till anyone responsible paid. This whole entire book is his journey to revenge and redemption, and he is going to get it one way or another. The way
That's
that
what
he
he
actually,
remembers. Or
yes,
Mm-hmm.
she
yes,
remembers,
Yeah.
sorry. That's what she remembers. He
yes,
remembers differently though.
yes. She has tried to completely forget that she witnessed this murder. She is trying to go through life thinking nothing happened and just to forget it. However, they stumble across some proof, some surveillance, and it just so happens to fall into one of his best friend's hands, or they're linked somehow to this. But Kane provides Jude with a list of names. Violet's is just so on that list for witnessing her murder. And I'm going to tell you this right now. For her being suicidal, every chance she got, she was about to die, it seemed, like around every single corner, and she wasn't really fighting it. And that's what made it so beautiful when he kind of pulled that Joker vibe. I don't want to see if you're going to die for me, live for me. Like, beautiful,
Yes.
sold it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was gonna be one of the next things I was like, okay, so tell us, he's supposed to be on this blood path of a journey, revenge journey, but why does she get to survive while everybody else dies?
That was the one fear she didn't have. She is not afraid of death, and you would kind of think differently with her being so timid. But she has such low self esteem, she thinks her life is absolutely meaningless and will throw it away for anybody else's. That is what her whole childhood has showed her, and it is so sad whenever you genuinely look at it that way. Like, how could somebody easily give up their life for someone, say, a bodyguard hired by their hitman? Why would someone risk their life for someone like that? She did it, I can't tell you how many times. The
Yeah.
things that this woman did to prove the kind of soul that she has, it was beautiful.
Yeah. It really was. Like she's so sweet, but but she's also so depressed because of the life that she has and the life that she's had. While she doesn't want to leave Dahlia behind,
Yes.
she would also
And
just rather die than have to deal with anything else.
And that's kind of the only reason she's still sticking around was simply for Dahlia. The reason she didn't kill herself, she didn't want to traumatize anybody else by finding her. She didn't want to
Right.
leave anybody
Right.
else in a bad way if she did take off. She just has so much empathy for other people that it definitely makes up for the fact that Jude is lacking in that department. And when I mean lacking, I mean it doesn't exist.
No.
They were not downloaded whenever he was developed because that man basically has no emotion outside possession. That is what he is capable of.
He wants to break her
Yes.
so bad, but at the same time, save her.
He kind of is saving her by breaking her in the one way she never thought of. And it is so beautiful. Rena Kent really did this book right. And I love the fact that each book, it's going to follow a different couple. Like for the first one, you have Kane Davenport and Dahlia Thorne. Kane and Jude are really, really good friends. Dahlia and Violet are foster uh, sisters. So there's backstories, they overlap, but I am stoked for everyone to meet Preston Armstrong. He will
Mm,
make you want to
baby
read
Preston.
this book.
Oh my gosh. Mr.
Oh my
Armstrong.
god. Yes.
Ugh.
I actually
Yes.
have a quote written down, and it is just a little kind of dialogue between Preston and Jude. And I'm going to tell you, if it sums up kind of the feel of their relationship, it's going to cover it 100%. Where did I put it at here? It is Gotta let the little guys think they have a chance before you eat the whole damn carpet into next week. That is Preston, Jude says. It's pull the rug out from under them, not whatever crime against language you just committed. I love
Yes.
them. I
Yes.
love them.
Yes.
I love how I feel like sometimes Preston, like Rena Kent wrote him to purposely do those because she knew, like, as Preston being, so Preston's the youngest, for our viewers. He's the
I'm
youngest
glad
of the
we didn't
group.
get a Remy vibe from him. I don't know if you guys remember Remy from like the Lord or Legacy of Gods, but I kind of got a little vibe of that, but she did it right with Preston.
Yes, like Preston will purposely misword these quotes, and you can feel Jude just like roll his eyes at him, almost
Yes.
like pat his head and be
Yes.
like, "Now, Preston,
And I promise
this
you,
is how you
if
say it."
in book
Mm-hmm.
3, if he still does not call Dahlia anything outside that, I'm going to be mad because now she is not Dahlia to me. She is everything but.
Yes.
Yes.
Every D name but her actual name.
And then, like,
And
to
there's a lot
hear,
of encounters you go through, so
I
you're going to be like,
know.
what is this?
yes, yes, and then I love it how as soon as he met Violet, she's just Violet,
Uh-huh.
just,
V.
and
V.
Dahlia's over here like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But
Yes.
I love that they do focus basically on like the same core group. So if you do happen to not like one, you can probably skip. Do not skip the middle one. You can skip almost any of them, but you cannot skip this one because there is some twist, there's some turns, there's mystery,
Mm.
and there's going to be a possible death.
There's tears. There's so
There is.
Oh, there's
There is. You
many,
tears.
will cry
so
because it
many
The
means
only
it's
tears.
so bad.
So
the
many
only
tears.
reason I didn't cry during that death is because I was at work and didn't want to show that I was reading instead of answering calls.
I was
Ah,
making a bed and crying in a room all by myself and thankful no one seen me. I was like, no.
that was.
So what I did was I reread it when I was home so I could have the proper cry.
I love that. I love that. So, Lindsay, can you tell us a little bit about why Violet is so protective over Dahlia?
I can. Violet and Dahlia do not have they didn't have a very good childhood. There was no security, there was no safety. They usually didn't know if they were going to have a steady meal or anything. But growing up in any foster home, you're probably going to have those worries all the time. So you have that kind of at your baseline. But with Violet, hers is a little bit more intense before she even made it into the foster system, sadly. Her mother never wanted her. Her mother has condemned her from the minute she was born. Sadly, her mother supported the whole family basically by being a hooker, and that was Violet's female role model growing up. That was basically her only blood family. And she just wanted acceptance. She only wanted her mom to love her, but her mom was not capable at all.
Yeah, and that's like such a hard part to read because it's like it's not a child's fault that you chose to not protect yourself to have a like to prevent something like this. Like why is it Violet's fault that you chose this? Like she did
And
nothing, you
her
know?
mom just blamed her literally for existing, that she ruined her body. Nobody ever wanted her. So, of course, her mom's just going to turn to drugs and completely leave little Violet as a child fending for herself. And
Oh, yeah.
everybody in
Yeah.
today's society knows the world is not kind to little girls or basically children in general, sadly.
Right, right. And then like that turned into a whole plot twist of like who her father was.
Yes, that was one of the best parts. So you are going to go through this whole book. Yes, it is a sports romance. You do have the hockey aspects that follows Kane, Jude, and Preston. They're going to be your main Vipers. There's a couple more that follows, but since we haven't got to that book, I can't really tell you a whole lot about that, nor do I want to spoil it for myself. So we're not going to do that. But in this book alone, it just kind of covers so many basic things. You have every opposite side. You've got the invisible girl, you've got the hockey god, the big man on campus. You've got Dahlia, who's outspoken and not afraid to defend herself, and Violet, who won't defend herself, but she'll defend anybody around her. And it just seems like you have like these cohabitations in like relationships that where one is they find their opposite. And I love that. I love that it's a secret society. I love that they're reminds me of like a John Wick society, basically, because are they hitmen? Are they like hired gunmen? I still haven't quite figured out what exactly they are outside of being like created leaders for our society.
Right.
Yeah,
Like the
I don't know either. Like it kind of reminded me of Skulls. If you've seen that
Yes,
movie,
yeah,
um, but they don't actually tell you what the members in the secret society do.
right.
right. Like the only thing we've seen is that
They
they
have rings and
control.
there's 4 levels. Like, that is basically it, and it is
Right.
ruthless. It is you the strongest will survive, and if you enter and you cannot survive, you're either dead or banished, but you will never ever have an opportunity again. It is they will make men out of you, pretty much.
Right.
Q Mulan.
and,
Um,
and like all we've really seen them do is just take out the people that could be like as soon as they
That kind of
hear
threatened their society, and
yeah,
yes,
they're
as
really
soon as
big on
they
that.
hear it's a
Your
threat,
life
it's
is
like okay,
over.
you're out, you're done, and the only way you're getting out of this is in a box.
But I did want to ask, when you guys were reading, did you happen to catch the rings for the families? Because that was the one thing that stood out, if you remembered. Because in this book, they actually went into detail how, like, there's different versions of the rings, and they are the family crest.
yeah,
Like, you have the
Yes, I
Davenport,
did
the
catch that.
Callahan, or the Armstrong, and what the, I can't, Osborne.
yeah,
Yes,
Osborne,
okay.
yeah.
yeah.
Yes, so with Vencor, you have 4 ranks basically. You're going to have the trial, you're going to have the members, you're going to have the seniors, and you're going to have the founders. The founders are legit the founding people of this Vencor system. So they are the big mans, the who's of who's. Your senior members, that's where you're going to get Kane, Jude, and Preston. So they're not only gods on campuses, gods in the ice ring, they have a lot of pull, they have a lot of resources, and they are fully capable of taking anything or anybody that stands in their way down. And they will not stop until they succeed. They are
I also
created and engineered to be that vicious.
yes, and I love that their styles are different. Like
Yes.
they're
Oh my.
I don't want to say I'm just gonna say they're killing styles because let's face it, they're
Yeah.
like assassins.
Yeah.
But their styles are so different, and I love how Jude and Preston like literally act like little children
Yes.
when it
I love
comes
it.
to almost. And I don't know if this makes us like weird, but I love how they act like little children. And Jude's like, you didn't let me draw it out. And Preston's like, I just needed to fix it. They were pissing me
Yes,
off. And I'm
yes.
just over here
I
like eating it
I
up
love
like
it.
candy.
And
And
Kane's
then I'm
just like,
like,
whatever, I don't want your mess. And then they're all going
yeah.
up to him and hugging him
And
and getting blood all over
yes.
him. And I'm
And
just like, ah!
Kane is
Yeah.
definitely like she wrote them
Very
like Kane is the
OCD.
oldest by
Yes.
his personality. Then it's Jude as the middle one, but he's like, I'm going to outshine you. He's not going to be the typical middle like
Yes.
brother almost. And then Preston's over here like, I'm the youngest. I don't give a shit. If I cause you
No.
problems, I cause you problems. Like
And I love
it's
the
great.
fact that every single one of them, they don't kind of focus on it very much, but each one of them kind of do have their own like mental struggles. Like with Kane, he's kind of like a double person when I think of him. Like the version he really is not who he lets anybody see. With Preston, they definitely specified that he suffers with manic episodes and bipolar. And with Jude, we have like our antisocial personality. So you're getting glimpses into real life people's struggles and how it's different for everybody. And it genuinely is. But I love the fact that she was not afraid to kind of isolate and give these characters really intense backstories that really deliver into it. But they also ground them and make them relatable with real problems and issues so it doesn't lose touch.
Yes, that like her characters are so deeply developed in like such trauma but beautiful ways is how I would
Yes.
describe it. Is just
And
there's
her,
so much trauma, but their
they're
road,
relatable.
yes, and like their road to finding this love is just like you're rooting for them, like you know they should technically be the villain because of what they're forced to do, but you're rooting for them because you're just like all you see is that crushed child that you just want to love and hug, and they're just over here like I can't show emotions, I'm a manly man, like basically
Yes.
what society wants our men to be is how she's writing them, and you're just like no, like I really love that they like literally break down for their women,
Yes.
and it's just like yes, thank you, finally some like growth, like seeing that growth is why I was eating up this whole series so far.
So, Lindsay, lots of red flags.
Oh, he's not a red flag. He is the red
A red
flag.
flag.
He is the apex red
Yes,
flag.
yes,
Look
I
up
love
red
him.
flag in the dictionary and you'll see Jude Callahan.
And not to mention,
correct.
if you don't know what he looks like, Google him. He is gorgeous, but the whole team is gorgeous, and they all have their own looks. Like there's not two characters that look alike. They all have their own thing going on. I love that.
Okay.
But I did want to ask one thing since you guys both read this.
Ooh.
Do
Oh
you
yeah.
feel like they are healing each other?
Oh,
Or do you feel like they're
100%.
just making okay to stay broken?
No, 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 no.
No,
No,
100% healing.
100%. Because if you remember in Sweet Venom, Jude will say that he can't stand Dahlia, but he'll also, because of how she's made Kane. He's more
Yes.
outgoing, he's more social, he jokes around a lot.
Yes.
But he protects her, but he's still one of their brothers in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
And it was wonderful.
yes, and then you have Violet,
Yes.
who she invites everybody over for dinner. She cooks for them. Like just like Kat was talking about her Violet's relationship with Preston. I mean, that right there is healing. Healing each other together.
They all have different co-relationships with each other, and none two are the same. Even if it's with the same
Yes.
character, they're
Yeah.
different with each interaction. And
Yes.
it is an experience I highly recommend anybody to pick up any book, preferably with the start of the series, because the Renaverse is huge. There is so many places to start, and if you don't know, just feel free to ask. Just reach out. We will help you pick a book that's perfect for you.
And that's why
Yes.
you
Yes,
should
we
add
will.
that to your TBR.
All of them.
Correct.
All right. Are you ready? We're going to go over to my
Yes, I
lovely
am so
pick.
interested to what you have for me.
Okay.
Not
So,
gonna lie, it's giving me kind of like Sam's background of like
It's a hobbit.
Lord, yes.
yes, okay. Okay, but listen. This book, okay, Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. It's the only book of hers that I ever read. And I'm pretty sure it's the only fantasy book she's ever written. All of her other books are like on on a farm, on the ranch, in the country, all sorts of stuff. And this is the only fantasy book that I have seen that she has actually done. So bear with me, okay? So this book asks one question: what if the peace treaty was a lie? What if the bride was wrong? And what if the man was wrong? This book starts with so much that is wrong. None of it is right. So it follows Odessa. She's the eldest princess.
I love that name too. You guys got amazing names for
Right.
characters.
I love her name. and like she's described in the book, she has this crazy fiery red hair, and she in the beginning of the book, she's technically supposed to be marrying like the oh shoot, like the King's Guard. And it just starts where she's just kind of like standing over this cliff, like watching out, and just wanting to dive into the ocean and feel the breeze and just get out. But she knows that she's never going to be married off. She's the eldest princess, but her sister was actually trained for marriage. So then you have this other country come in, and you have a silent prince that shows up early. And as he's standing in front of the royal family, so the king, the queen, Odessa, and her sister, he looks at them and he says, "No, I'm not marrying her. I'm marrying her," and points to Odessa.
Oh, shoot.
So it's
I
automatically
like that.
right, automatic red flag. Okay? But he doesn't speak in public. So when they are getting married, the king, well, the prince, does not actually say the vows when they are spoken. Instead, they are spoken by the guardian, who is the bodyguard. So technically, she's not married to the prince. She's technically married to the lethal, emotionally unavailable, green-blooded guardian that they have in this book. So that's just the beginning. Okay, the guardian is infected with a magical disease, and the monsters in the book, they all have the same disease. So you have this kingdom that is trying to get itself prepared for what's called the crux. The crux is whenever these giant monsters come and basically destroy towns and kingdoms, and they will kill everyone they find. They have these tunnels and safety systems that everybody has to go down and get into. The only problem is the crux comes every so many years. The marriage is to try to stop that from happening, but nobody knows why the crux happens. So the green blood is super healing, and the guardian has this terrifying strength, and the kingdom is pretending that everything is fine, but there's this like hidden agenda that is going on. So the prince she married is actually a decoy. The guardian is the real crown prince, which obviously, you know, there's a missing queen that we learn about. We don't know where she's at. We don't know what has happened to her. We find out that Odessa's heritage is actually not from the kingdom she came from. There's a secret capital. There's a king that's committing war crimes, and the monsters start coming early. The virus is really contagious, but the virus is only spread to the animals. So like I have on my screen there, you have the Terrakin, the Lionwick, the Crux, the Morrow Wheel, and I can't remember what the other one's name is because I can't see it. But they are basically deadly. Any of the animals, if you come up to them, they are extremely deadly, especially if they have the virus. They kind of go into chaos mode, but they find out that through the Tarkin that they're actually able to communicate with each other, and the monsters are getting smarter. So it kind of becomes this crazy, like, this pack of animals is following us and trying to kill us, and then they back away, and then the same pack is hunting us throughout the story.
I love that. I love anything that involves animals trying to kill you, and you're like, I love that for some reason because it just adds a little bit more.
I want to know why they're
pizzazz.
deadly.
Well, so that's the thing. So they're like this because someone tried to make humans strong enough to survive them, and the same poison that they're giving the humans, they're giving the animals.
I sense a little bit of experimentation going on here.
Yes.
I
So
was gonna say.
yeah, so when you get so far into the book, there is this treetop treehouse area. And the way that the book describes it, it's just this beautiful area full of all of these giant trees. Reminds me of kind of like redwoods. In my brain, that's what I'm seeing, like redwoods from California. Um, and they have all these tree houses. They live in the trees to get away from all of the animals on the ground, except some can, climb up into trees. So there's a part in there where Odessa finds a baby cub, a lionwick cub, and she actually is holding it and keeping it, and that's when they learn not all of the animals are dangerous, and that they have that kind of thought in their head about, okay, well, the animals are dangerous because of this experimentation.
Did you get a companion?
Yeah.
Pet wise, I mean, I don't really care about the person yet. I want to know about the little four creatures.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to know more about the pet.
So you go from one kingdom, you go from the tree hut place to this other kingdom, and you find out that's where you find out that the Guardian's the real prince. Because he makes it seem like he has a secret daughter. But it's actually Xavier who is the Guardian's guardian, that has a daughter, and it's like this whole we have to keep it a secret. No one knows that the Guardian is the real prince,
Oh, I love that.
because no one,
Plot twist.
right?
That's like the ultimate protection. Like,
Yes.
it's hiding in plain sight almost.
Yes.
So every step of the way they have to watch all of their interactions. But when they go to this last place, they can be a little bit more free. So that's where the love story kind of picks up more, where they fall in love with each other, Odessa and the Guardian. They they sleep together, they have this tension, and it becomes a I'm going to protect her at all cost. So throughout the story you have these crazy priests, and the priests have these magical powers. The priest kind of, we've all read A Court of Thorn and Roses. You know how they explain what the cereal looks like, very like decayed, in the black robe.
Yeah.
So the priests are kind of described almost the same way in this book, except they float. They don't walk. They float. They don't really talk a whole lot, but when they get near Odessa, she gets these horrible, horrible, horrible migraines. And the book doesn't really explain why. That's something that I'm hoping in April, when the second book comes out, is a little bit more explained in depth. But
do you have any theories for the second part of that?
I
Do you
mean,
think, or have any ideas of what you feel why she has the migraines?
I kind of do. From the
Think she
last
can talk to him?
from the no, well, I think she can. I think there's a lot of good and bad in the book, but there's a lot of bad. They burned down a bookstore because of like old literature that they have inside that no one is supposed to know about.
Blasphemy.
The king, Odessa's father, is just wanting her to be married off, since it's not her sister. So that way she can be a spy of war. There's apparently the secret kingdom to where everybody can go and they're free from the Crux. The Crux doesn't hit that kingdom. And that is where the Guardian is from. However, the Guardian's kingdom is also an evil kingdom, because that's where they're experimenting and creating the virus, which is making everything go crazy.
Now, do they have a goal for this said virus? Like, I'm kind
They-
of curious
they
for it,
want-
because like I love books that have like a myth or a virus or something
Yeah.
that is like impending doom that they almost have no control or say over. But
Yes.
it's just a like serious problem always present outside personal problems.
Yes, so it's because they want everybody to be basically like superhuman, but also be able to survive the monsters, the Crux. When those Crux come, like in my image, the Crux doesn't look very big. The Crux is this ginormous, think like dragon, harpy style. In the book, it's described with very sharp claws. It comes down. It's more than one of them that come down and just rip people to shreds. They leave nothing behind. There are some really sad moments. There's some deceit. Every princess has her ladies' maids, and both of Odessa's end up betraying her, in some way or another throughout the book.
I knew there was going to be a betrayal.
There's-
There almost always has
Always
to be.
is. Always.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of there's a lot of betrayal that happens in it. There's also a lot that is left unsaid. Again, you hear where the Guardian comes from. You hear about his kingdom. You hear about all of the things that they're doing to experiment to make everyone be able to survive this every so many year destruction, so that way they can save people. And then you have this. They have a timeline. They know when the Crux is supposed to come. So they say. But it's not guaranteed. So they come early. The Crux comes early while they're in this village. Well, this kingdom.
Would you say they face a high mortality rate, like on the daily basis?
I don't think so. No. No. I don't think so.
So
But
they just have kind of the main threats to their lives.
yes. It's they could go outside and something could happen. When they travel, they only travel so far to different areas, just kind of have checkpoints.
Yeah, I was just kind of great, like the risk factor of traveling, how hard it would be just for like daily living and
Yeah,
tasks
it
if
is.
it was
Yeah.
It is
kinda like,
hard.
I don't know if you remember like Quicksilver, how they almost couldn't go outside in the daylight because it was so hot. I didn't know if like
Yeah,
these creatures
Yeah.
are that
Yeah.
impending doom
Basically,
for them,
yeah.
or
They can
basically,
get murdered going grocery shopping.
yes, they
yeah,
have.
you know what I mean? I was
Yeah,
trying to see like the level of threat.
the level of threat is high. The kingdoms have high walls, except for the tree place, which has everything in the trees. So that way they don't have high walls there. But they can still, go on the ground and whatnot. They just have to watch what they're doing. They have the Guardian they have hunters that go out to like get rid of packs if there's one that's close. But there's also that chance
I
that
love that.
that they break in. It's a phenomenal story. It's beautiful. I hate world building in books because I think that it takes up too much of the book. I just want the meat and potatoes. But the world building that this book does stuck with me. I can remember the
Oh, it
details.
must have been a good job then.
Yeah, I can remember the details. I can remember just the small things. Like the way that they described her tree hut with his tree hut behind it. It has that very longing feeling to it. It's very slow burn. It's not super spicy. It's like maybe a two and a
Were there
half.
a lot of places to keep track of where you
No.
are?
No.
Oh, that wonderful. That definitely just kind of sealed this fate. It
Yeah.
will be
So
on
it's
my
just
DVR.
enough world building
Yes.
without going like Akatar, where you're like Night King,
Yes, and that's
Autumn Court.
exactly what I
Like,
was meaning.
No.
Like, do I have 10 different kingdoms and their territories and
No.
their enemies and terrains that
You
I have to
have-
keep track of?
You have the main kingdom, and then they go to the treehouse place, and then from there they go to the other place, and then they talk about the main the hidden kingdom that they're looking for. That's basically it. Those 4 places. They do talk about being out. Like Odessa does go on a hunt with the Guardian at some point in time, and they do talk about the surrounding area. But it's not. It's just like basically I think of it as it's open world in a video game.
I love that.
It's
you
not
free
smut,
roam.
Chaz. This one is not
Chaz?
really smut. But
No, he missed that. Tell him to go back to the prior
Right,
segment.
right.
And
You-
will be all right.
yeah, right. Lindsay's pick was pure smut. Okay. This one is not.
There was some stalking.
There
okay?
was. You're right. There is.
there was more stalking than smut.
Very much so many red flags and violence, but no. So you have this. So you have this giant. And spoiler alert! I'm gonna spoil the ending of the book because I feel like you need to
Yes,
read it.
please do. I still want to read it, but spoil
Yes,
it for
you-
all of us.
I can spoil the end of the book, but you're not going to understand how big this spoiler is until you read the book from beginning to end. So
Okay, I feel like you're teasing me now.
I
You
am.
gotta tell me.
Absolutely, I am. So Odessa has a very specific look to her. Bright, fiery red hair. I can't remember what they say about her eyes, but she has a very specific look. And
She's very unique. and
she
distinct.
has a pendant that she wears with a necklace that was supposed to have belonged to her mother, her birth mother. So, with that being said, the Crux comes down, starts attacking early. Everybody's dying. They're trying to kill the Crux. More than one of them. So they do kill one of the Crux. Okay? It dies. And then it turns into a woman. This dead monster turns into a woman who looks just like Odessa.
Oh no.
Womp,
Oh
womp,
yeah, I
womp.
definitely want to read this. I
Yes.
don't know when they meet for coffee again, but send her on over.
I can just.
I might have already put it in my Kindle app.
Yes, please read it. The second book comes out in April. I pre-ordered it all the way back in July as soon as pre-orders opened. Because it left me on that cliffhanger, and I'm like, no. Like, I love this. I've picked up so many other Devney Perry books, just because I absolutely loved her reading. I read one other book of hers, called Crossroads, which is basically about a ranch, and I absolutely loved it. So she's turning into one
I'm
of my
definitely
favorite
eager
authors.
to actually peek into both of your guys' books. I love the fantasy vibe, and I'm definitely feeling that right now. So
Yeah,
we're gonna
so
take
I
advantage
agree.
of those vibes and read them while I'm in that mood.
yeah, so my book is it's political fantasy, forced marriage, secret identity, and monster ethics. I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop talking about it. I have made so many people read it, just because I needed other people to talk to about it. When it first came out, I know that there were some people that I knew that were like, I couldn't get into it. And then they would pick it back up a couple months later and they were like, okay, I now see the hype. Like, it's not overly hyped, it's perfectly hyped. And it makes me mad when Book Talk likes to tell me that
Yeah,
it's overly hyped because it's
yeah.
just appropriately hyped.
Okay, now
Right.
I have to ask, since we know cat level, what level of spice would you give Shield and Sparrows? Since
Um,
it is a little on the romance side.
yeah, so it's definitely like it's got the slow burn. I want to say probably if we're doing it out of 5 because out of 10 you guys
Yeah.
told me it's too many chili peppers.
Well, it
So,
depends on where, like, I don't know your guys' rating system. Like,
well,
your
I mean,
guys' PG-13 might be like my E for everyone. So I just needed a specification 1 through 5. We got it.
I have no filters on what I read. You ask me that all the time and
I
I'm like,
know, and
just
I
hit me
love it.
with
That's
it.
why I had
True,
to
true.
ask.
So,
Like,
I kind of get like a little bit of Quicksilver vibes from yours, which I'm absolutely head over. Like, if anybody knows me, Quicksilver in Brimstone is like my overall fantasy pick. I am getting this kind of vibe in Quicksilver and them. They were not highly spicy. Like, you only had a handful
right,
of
like,
scenes and it fit so well. I kind of get that
and
from
that,
this, and I
like,
cannot wait to experience
yeah,
this.
it's probably like
yes,
a 2.5 on the chili pepper spectrum, but there's definitely the
So it's present.
yes, the love story is amazing. It really is. The fact that okay, I knew from the beginning that the guardian was going to be the prince. I just did.
Yeah.
It just it I
You're too
caught that.
seasoned.
Yeah, I caught that right off the bat because it's not like a okay, this random guardian is going to say the vows, hello, obviously then the guardian's married to
right,
her.
right,
Like
And that's what
right,
I love about books. They don't tell you anything that probably isn't going to come up later, unlike it would with a show where they're expecting you to catch it out of the corner of your eye. In a book, if it is mentioned, if it is said, if it is brought to your point of view and drawn
right.
attention, she's doing it for a reason. And a
right.
lot
Yes,
of
like,
authors are like that, and I
yeah,
love
like in
it.
Yes.
my book,
Like
they
little
kept mentioning,
breadcrumbs to store away for later.
right, like in my book, they kept mentioning Flameborn. And I'm just like, all right, I kind of know where this is going. Like, why are you saying she's lightborn? We obviously know she's flameborn, but now why is she being saved versus executed like all the other flameborn?
So do we have any final thoughts on our books, like for each other?
I do think I forgot to mention that Violet, for 3 months in this book, she is in a
Yeah.
coma. I
Yes.
definitely don't think I
Yes.
mentioned that, and I want to apologize on that because when I was thinking, I was like, hold up. There's like a core component that I missed. And Violet is in a coma for a little while,
but
but you really get to focus on Jude in that meantime. And it is needed, and it definitely plays a really big part.
yes, but like she's in a coma of her doing, like
Yes, her
yes,
choosing.
her
And
choosing.
the readers
Like,
know that, but we get to witness Jude not knowing any of that.
well, that's how like Dahlia's book started, is because Violet was in
Yes.
the coma and she read the journal, and then boom, that's how the whole series starts.
Yes,
Yep.
like you get so many different point of views in pieces. Like there's one big picture, but no matter what book you pick, it is your puzzle pieces are different, even though it's going to make the same picture. You're just getting it from somewhere else. And I love how she does that. I don't think I've actually encountered another author like Rena Kent in her Renaverse because it's just you can connect it and cross it. There's parents, there's kids, there's opposing schools, there's opposing secret societies. In some of them, you're even getting mafia. You're getting the bravada. Like there, you cannot
Mm-hmm.
go wrong with a Rena Kent book.
Yeah, I'm kind of
True.
hoping that after she releases Preston's book, that
Yes,
she goes back and she does a book for the parents for each of the
yes,
family to find
yes.
out more, or at least do it on those family members like Julian and
Yes,
Kane's
I do kind of
uncle.
hope we get a little bit more. Well, with with
Yeah,
like,
I like the Kane's uncle version
Yes,
because like
yes,
he was kicked out because he
I
didn't root for the
you
right
guys do know
team.
that she
yep.
did write a book for that, and it's Hunt the Villain, right?
I did not know that. No.
I did
Yes,
not
it
know
is,
that either.
and it is a male romance, which is going to make it amazing. Like you're going to get Gareth's uncle, and I can't remember his name, but even in the monster trilogy that she did, that's The Blood of My Monster, where you get the mafia ties. It's going to tie that in with like the Volkov family, the Bravadas, where how they kind of came over with the mafia and where that started. Like it all connects, but through differently with each book. And I am so stoked, and I love that you guys got to experience this with me. That's what made it the best.
Yeah, I like books that do that. Zodiac Academy is the same way. Like they
That is
released
also on my TBR.
they okay. So I mean, if you like Faye, you like the like Cats book. That's what it reminded me of a lot. Except you don't have all of the trigger warnings, because that one has a lot of trigger warnings. And Darius Acrux is 100% a Jude Callahan. Find him in the
Ooh,
dictionary under red flag.
yes.
But
Like,
um,
I love that. And I think I love the red flags because, well, you ladies have met my husband. He is not nice to everybody, but he is nice to me, and he is my
what?
grumpy bear, and I love that man.
Jeb, not
Yes,
nice. I don't know what you're talking
I'm
about.
have you
Myth is
encountered him in
similar.
customer service or upset him or
I
inconvenienced him?
yes, I Lindsay, there was a really long time where he did not like me, because of what I put his best friend through before we got married.
I
So
still think there's like a
yes,
50% of the time that I don't think he likes me either.
it's you know what? It probably depends on what day of the week it
If
is.
he just woke up, yeah, no,
If
he
it's
Yeah,
hates
morning,
himself.
because he does
if
not
it's
like
morning,
mornings. We
if it's
found that out
morning,
this morning.
yes, yeah. But with
That was like a 1 on the scale.
uh,
That was mild. That was a peaceful morning. Everything was stayed intact, and we are still together. Great morning.
Oh no, I literally turned to Myth and was just like, is this Jib every morning? He's like, yeah, pretty much. I was just like,
yeah,
oh.
You know what to
I
expect.
was
You get used to
worried.
it, and you just got to let him get it out, and then he is good. You just can't take it personal because
that's he's your best friend.
he's
That's why.
not talking to you. He's just talking at the air in front of you, not directed at you.
I was almost so concerned, like, uh, Should I ask if he's okay?
Nah,
No,
nah.
no,
Because
Trust me,
like
this
no,
is
I
this is
try to
no.
nothing.
be
You just
like
gotta let him get it out, and then
I
he's
try to be
golden.
the person that slides into DMs like, do you need to talk? Like I can just listen if you
No,
need to talk.
no. You just let him do his thing. But with red flags, yeah, Zodiac Academy, they did 9 books on the kids. There are in between books that they did that you don't have to read, but you can go back and read that are different point of views from different characters throughout it. And then they also did a series on the parents and a series on kind of almost like a sequel series. So they have like a prequel series, the Zodiac Academy, and then a sequel series. There are so many books. I think it's like 25 altogether. Um,
It's a
just
big
Girl.
just for
universe.
that. It's huge, but the stories are amazing. The backstories are amazing, and that's what Kat's book reminded me of as she was reading it. So I would add that one to your TBR too.
I
But
might have you send
My
over the
TBR
first.
is
If
like
you have the first physical
I
copy
don't.
by chance,
I don't.
well
I
then,
read
dang it, I might have to add that to my
sorry,
cart then.
I read them all on Kindle. It's really they you can find them. The books are super lengthy, super
I've
thick.
seen it. They're
And
massive.
they're like $30 a pop at the bookstore or even online. So I don't own any of them in actual physical copy. They're in
I
my wish
gotcha.
list.
It
So
might be like a
that
credit
yeah.
to Audible or something
yeah,
to get out of the way.
yeah. But okay, so let's do a final chaos round. Um, just looking at the time real fast.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
so which MMC wins tonight? I mean,
Oh, can we say all of them?
I
Because they
mean,
all in their own way,
It
they're
depends.
like
Like,
they're
what
all
are they
very
winning
different.
at? Like, what's the category? Are they winning as like the best romantic partner? Are they the
right.
best main male character? Are they the best red flag? Are they like I I need a
There's so
title
many
to
different
accommodate.
categories that they'll all fit
I
into. Like,
I think it
like
probably
I
comes down to a whatever you want it to be.
Because they each kind of have placed for several categories and not many overlap because you have
right.
a nurturer, you have a caregiver, and then you have a shadow obsessor until the end. So it kind of depends on what your vibe is where you're going to fall. So it just depends on your personal taste, I feel.
Okay, so which FMC would fight the others? Those that don't know these acronyms.
Violet's done. She's puddling. This is between you two.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Uh, they might have
Well,
a
Violet's out.
yeah, they might have a they might be a tie there because from what Kat was saying about her FMC,
I,
she's a
I don't know.
fighter.
Cat's got
She's
some
a
flame going
yeah,
on, and
she's a survivor. Odessa, she's a survivor. She just wants people to leave her alone. Like
right, right. I
um
don't know.
Right, like she never once like in the trial, so I didn't tell you guys like the unique trial because like I wanted to kind of keep it like a little mystique of why going through the journey of like just kind of dangling that carrot in front of you. But the gist of this trial is she has 48 hours of being hunted by some of the Ashlings in her group. They have 48 hours. They could do anything to her to try and kill her. And she has to survive 48 hours in this mountain. And the mountain
She's
also is
covered by
on the
threats on all sides.
so the mountain is also where her trial is stationed is on the front lines of where the army's fighting the crew. So she can also be fighting like crew and the guards and then also trying to survive the 48 hours of these Ashlands like Rika and her group of literally trying to kill her. And then she
see
goes into this cave that people are like warning her that Kay warned her of and was like, don't, whatever you do, don't go up to the mountains into this cave. And she does. And he can't dream walk and like, cause he can dream walk to her to kind of like make sure her feelings are okay. Cause he can read feelings through dreams. And he's like, I can't sense her. We should probably go to this cave. And then that's where the book ends when she gets dragged by this monster into the cave more. And they've the last what is it? The last words that are saying is she's mine. Like she feels calm, and
I
I think
love
it's
a
hard
claim
that.
and a tag of ownership. I don't care. That is like one of my go-tos. If
But
they
it's
have
the
that, I love it.
monster that's claiming her, like this
Oh,
group of monsters. It's not the MMC that's claiming her. It's like
and
this
that was my
group.
mistake. Apologies.
That's okay. I'm just like, you left this book on this big cliffhanger, and I don't even know when the second book is coming out. I'm like, I was like panicking, like, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. I want to keep reading. Like, if the second book had been out, I would have immediately jumped into it, and it probably would have been the whole series I was talking about. Like, not just book one, it probably would have been like both books and stuff. It just grasped me in a way that I haven't felt grasped since like Fourth Wing. And the Everflame series, like that book's finally coming out after 3 years of waiting for this next book. Like, this is the first book in a while that I'm just like, I need to read the second one. Like, I'm jonesing for it to come out.
So what? So which book are we forcing each other to read? I think we all read Lindsay's book, so obviously we're all going to read the third one when it comes out because we want to know what happens
Yes.
with Preston. And I'm
We're gonna have
definitely
to
Have
get.
easier access to read yours first, and
well,
then
yes,
Kat's.
yes.
That is the only determining factor
It
for me,
sits on my
honestly.
bookshelf. It sits on my bookshelf,
Can
ready
we
for
actually
you.
see the book real quick?
Goodness gracious! One moment.
Yes. Yes, I want to see it in person. It's so beautiful.
Hold on. This is.
Is it the sprayed
Look at
edges?
that.
Yes, it is the sprayed
That is
edges.
gorgeous.
Oh,
Show what?
gorgeous.
Oh yes.
Look at this. See?
Yes, yes, that is beautiful. Oh
That
my
is one thing
goodness.
I'm not
That is
sure
display
if my
worthy.
book has sprayed edges,
Ah,
because I didn't see the book when I read it because it was an arc.
oh,
Um,
it's beautiful.
Mama.
Sam, you
Mama.
knew you were broke the minute we all decided we were book girlies.
It's a
Yes,
ladybug.
yes.
Like, that's why I miss work on the weekend. It's for books.
Hey hun, can you come in and kill this ladybug that's in here that our daughter's freaking out about right now? I apologize. There's a ladybug, guys. There is a ladybug. Or a Japanese beetle, which we have taught her how to say leedle leedle. It's a leedle leedle.
I love that.
Yes, it's a leedle leedle. But okay, so which book has surprised us the most that we've talked about today?
Well, we've all read Sweet Venom, so like,
Kat's book
we
really surprised me the most, I think. I kind of knew what to expect with The Shield and Sparrows, just because that one has originally been on my TBR. But with Kat's, I even seen the opportunity to like sign up for the ARC. Granted, I'm not big on reading electronically, so that is something that's hard for me. But the book
that's how
piqued
I
my
got the arc.
interest. And when she dove into it and compared it to Fourth Wing, instantly sold me right there. But I was not expecting that from it, honestly. And it
No,
is kind of a
I wasn't.
newer author, I think. Like, I don't think they're really big or well known, but I didn't have high expectations, and it literally, like, kind of toppled all of that. So I'm pretty stoked for it.
Right,
I am happy because you are actually like, you said that you were gonna be part of that arc because that's one of the arcs you
Yes.
sent me.
Yes.
And
This was
I
the
was just
one that I
like,
was like, we should totally do this. And I never got the time to fully go through it, which upset me. And when it was like an ebook, I was like, ah, man, I am not going to be able to get through this.
yes. I think it's kind of like I'm okay with reading ebooks, just because I like to read at night, and I'm not the type that like, I cherish my books too much, so I don't want to bring them out in public.
Yes,
Like,
I
because
am
I know
more
what my
of
home
a
environment is.
physical
Like,
book and audio book. I can't, there's
yes.
something about the phone. I get distracted and know one click over, I can be doing something else. And with the book, it's physically in my hand. My
I
views
have
are limited.
noticed I have noticed like the book, the Kindle, I have been like that lately, where it's like, okay, I could be scrolling through like Discord because of like our my gaming Discord, things like that, or like Instagram or TikTok, or I have all those other apps that's like, sometimes I have to focus on the reading, but then I am over here, and I do miss like the weight of a physical book. Um and like this gonna sound weird, but the smell of a physical book, like a brand new book you just bought. Um, and I think I'm gonna have to go back to physical books just to read them. but I don't want to bring them out into a different environment. Like I don't want something could happen outside. I could actually drop it or like spill on it, which I know at home I could do as well. But like out in the outside my environment, I'm like, no, I'm not bringing my treasures out here. And every book I own is a treasure.
So I want us to talk about before we end. Real fast, we have a few minutes before we hit that hour and 30 minutes, which we don't really care about time anyways. But Stream Elements just put it up. You can join our Discord if you want. I don't know why it has my last name there though, because that's not what Discord is. It's not the right Discord. You're right. I don't know why that's even there. It's Head Removal Inc., which it'll be on the last slide. But our next episode that we're doing is actually going back to a book pick that we're all going to do, a group read. I'm going to butcher the name, guys. Feather So Vicious?
Yep, that is it.
Yeah.
That is it.
Feather So Vicious. Main character. I just wanted to tell you that I started reading. I'm on chapter 4, and there is a handmaid whose name is Risa. And I thought that was cool. So I wanted to share that with you.
I do like that. I am so excited for this. It's just physically still in my cart and has not been ordered because I procrastinate. But I'll get to it.
Yeah, I started it on the Kindle. I'm not kidding you. Her name is Risa. When I saw it, I was like, I need to let Risa know. That's the first time I've ever seen your name on anything. That is Best Friend. Yes, she just made a Twitch account to watch the stream.
Welcome.
hello.
Yay, then you get to be our next character.
So,
Yes.
she's not the main character. She's not the FMC, but she's the FMC's... She's the FMC's guardian, basically. Basically her mom. But, so, we'll be reading Feather So Vicious. If you want to pick it up, you can do that and read along with us. If not, you'll see us on Saturday, March 28th at 3 p.m. Still going to try to figure out how I'm going to work that one out. Have a bridal shower and Winry's birthday party back to back. So podcast will be right between the two.
If we need to, we can move it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about
flexible.
that. But if we do change it, we'll let everybody know. So yeah, is there anything anybody wants to say before I close us out?
You covered it for my part.
Kat?
Yes. I'm good.
Okay, well, this was chaotic but productive. And if you had to trust one wife with your TBR, who are you picking? Leave that in the chat and we'll see those comments later. We'll see you in 3 weeks, for more emotional instability. And we are the Scribe Wives of HRI. Have fun, guys.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Curl up, hit play, let the pages unwind. Spice on our tongues, all the trouble we find. We're kissing and killing in kingdoms we crave, falling for monsters we swear we'll never say. We're the Scribe of HRI, reading too late, but we're still gonna dive into blades and beds and bargains at night. If he's morally gray, then he's probably right. Scribe of HRI, turn up the heat, let the dragons fly. Fantasy, smoke, and the dark in his eyes. Yeah, we read it all and we never apologize. Curses and crowns, all the vows